Hi everyone. I'd like to talk a little bit about my experience with music, especially with mental disorders. Uh, so before I developed some severe mental disorders, I was listening a lot to music, for years, every day on my computer. Um, but at some point, it started to become very obsessive. Like I call Well, I was listening to some songs on repeat, maybe hundreds of times in a row. Um, I felt like possessed by a lot of those songs. I guess that it could also be related to autism. But at some point, I'm not sure, but I developed other mental disorders like OCD and other problems that affected my mental state. So really, I was definitely when I started to listen hundreds of times in a row. At first, I was kind of fine, but I felt that if I kept going like that, maybe this was not going to be good for my health because even if I loved a lot of those sounds, it made me feel very stressful. And of course, when I started developing in more disorders, when it was clear that I was in a different mental state, this is when music got even worse. Actually, I had to stop listening. This is not easy, but I had to completely stop. And I tried to at first. I realized that I had to mostly stop listening to music. So, and this is something that people probably don't think about, but there's some people out there that because of their conditions, they shouldn't listen too much to music. And this is pretty much what happened to me. So after a certain time, I succeeded in greatly reducing listening to music, but not completely. So sometimes I guess that I listen to a couple albums a year, but unfortunately, I had some relapses. This is so hard. You can only imagine how hard it is to have to mostly stop listening to music. And so this is this was and still is difficult, though at this precise moment I rarely listen or hear music, so for now I'm fine. um but this is a very difficult situation because listening to music can be inspiring. Some types of music um can inspire us, and some of them did inspire me. So sometimes I felt bad. I felt much more anxious and stressful, but at least I had some inspiration. I had some interesting thoughts that came from listening to some of those songs. Sometimes you watch a video on YouTube, so I'm kind of forced to listen to those songs, but the music. But I cannot completely cut it either. So so it's a very different way of living. I had a phase where for years, of course, I was listening outside when I was walking, um, and was listening to music for hours. but I had to stop that too. So uh, because it creates isolation. I was trying to feel more connected with the world. So yeah. So today it's pretty much the same thing. Every time that I listen to some music that keeps me going um, mentally, I feel that there's something wrong that is going on, and I feel that I shouldn't do that. So I will continue to try to listen to music as least as possible. Um, I mean, when I do it, I have to. Sometimes I make some exceptions, but it rarely happens. And I think that if it's a video, I think that it has to be more useful for me to listen to it, even if there's some risks involved by listening to that. So it can be very hard to resist sometimes. But I think that it's definitely much better for me to try to do that because I know what it's like, how I feel when it affects me that much. So that's about it. I wanted to give you a good idea of what my situation is and has been for a lot of years um, with music, with my mental disorders. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.